Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. That'll make the E-Trac come alive and perform. That's what Weird Guy in the Park told me. Stay tuned for some shocking results. Guys, I've got the E-Trac out here. I ran in, it quit raining for a minute. I went in to get it because I've already shot a video of the CTX and the Minelab Manticore on this cut silver Spanish Real and this nail right here. I'm just going to demo the E-Trac real quick. It's set up multi-tones, variability 30, the highest 30. Everything's maxed out. So here you guys see it. Let's look at the coin. Absolutely nothing. And just to make a long story short, I'm going to show you where the coin has to be for it to really start hitting it. Move it back to 14 inches or 16 inches. Let's look at it. So the coin has to be 7.5 inches from that nail for it to hit it. Okay. Weird Guy in the Park, pay attention because old Calabash Digger is handing out lessons today for E-Trac users and CTX users and how bad these two detectors suck in 2025 when compared to the Minelab Manticore and Multi-IQ Plus technology. So, with that being said, you know, if I live long enough, we might be out here in 5 years talking about how Multi-IQ Plus sucks. But you guys, stay tuned for this video. Shocking results. I know I keep putting that in the titles, but I'm going to show you some shocking results, guaranteed. This right here should be eye-opening to FBS, BBS, we could get the Excalibur out here, and FBS2 users. If you're using an FBS2 machine or an FBS machine, hence E-Trac CTX, you are missing tons of stuff in the ground if there's any type of iron around. All these detectors will hit freestanding targets. Oh, I found 200 silver coins, whoopity-doo. If there's any iron around, how many did you miss that are, well, that's the question of the day. So take heed. You guy over there in the UK, pay attention, because this right here is lesson 101 from Calabash Digger on how far Multi-IQ Plus is ahead of BBS, FBS, and FBS2 technology in 2025. Stay tuned. All right, guys, we need to have another deep dive discussion on the CTX 3030 in 2025. I want to just say this. I bought that machine with my hard-earned money. Now, as you guys know, I'm a metal detector tester, so there was a motive behind it, and to compare it to the Manticore and see how FBS2 stacks up to Multi-IQ Plus. Well, with that being said, you know, I kind of tried to put my mind last night in a mindset of a new person looking to buy a detector, and everything said in this video is my opinion. So I went to the Minelab website. I looked at the CTX. It's advertised as 1.1 something, 1.5 to 100 kilohertz operating, or, you know, something like that jargon. And, you know, and then you look at the price versus the Manticore, and you would assume, in my mind, if I was a new person, I didn't know anything, that the CTX was their flagship. Well, let's say this. At $1,999, that's a pretty tough sale point, in my opinion, at this time in 2025. I showed a test yesterday, Gold Nugget. I've showed some unmasking tests on low conductors. You guys can go check the videos out. I'll just post a little tags here where you guys can see them. But today we're going to do something a little bit different for the guys across the pond and in the United States. And let me say this, whether you're using an E-Trac, which I'm not going to bring out here because it's raining, it's going to be very similar results, FBS2 to the CTX here. So let's look at this little scenario. I've got a cut, I believe, 1 real here. You see it right there, it's cut. And I've got 1 square nail, and we've got a measuring stick. We've got the 11-inch coil on the Manticore, 11-inch coil on the CTX. We've went in and lowered basically the iron tone break in the CTX down to 28. That's what Gary Blackwell had a video 13 years ago hunting hammered coins in the UK running combined tones. Let me see if I can get the camera on it and show you guys real quick what we got. Some say cut high trash on, some say, we're running ferrous coin, I'm sorry. We're running ferrous coin because it is a coin dealing with ferrous. So that's what, that's for. So oh, my bad. I'm all over the place here this morning, but you can see that we're in the tone. You see where I got it set down to 120, in combined. Response is normal, recovery fast off, recovery deep off, target separation, ferrous coin. Now, we're going to look at this. Look where I've got it. I've got the nail at 10 inches, right at 10 inches, and I've got the coin tucked up beside it. Well, we were talking yesterday about frequency, and this guy right here, look at his comment, from his experience. Now, let me tell you something. My experience comes from putting these detectors head to head at the same time, different settings, optimizing them, and seeing how they stack up. It doesn't come from, I was out in the field and I found that cut with this CTX, thus it's good on cut silver. That's not how things really work. Any of the detectors that I have, down probably to the cheapest $100 detector, will hit that silver to a certain depth here in my mild soil if nothing is around it. But let me bring up the obvious. There's people with detectors, metal detecting every day around the world, and sites are getting tougher. They've been hit. So what happens to all the easy targets? Yeah, they get gone. So if you go into a place, freestanding targets, the E-Trac, the CTX will do you really just fine on freestanding targets. What if there's a piece of iron around that silver coin? Well, let's look at it. It's a good scenario, right? Let's look at it. So let's get ready. Here we go. Let's look at the sensitivities. 20. It's not a depth test. We want the machine nice and stable. You guys see it. We can noise cancel it. Wait a minute. Let me talk about that for a moment. I ran the noise cancel up on it because it changes the frequencies, and we can run it back down. We'll test it on 11. Let's test it on 11 first. Let's go back to the noise cancel. Whoop. Let's run it down to 1 because this changes the spectrum of the noise cancel. Let's slide the coin out 2 inches to 12. You guys see where it's at right here? 12 inches, so we slid the coin out. Okay. I'm not even going to play that game with it. I'm not even going to play that game because I'm going to let the machine pick it. It doesn't matter. A lot of people say, well, the E-Trac or the CTX on noise cancel changes the frequency. It's not enough shift to make a hill of beans difference. You don't see it in 3 points or 4 points of frequency shift. There's not enough in that to make a difference in the frequency that it's running. So no clear audible tone. Let's go out to 14 inches. Wiggle. Let's go out to 16 inches. Let's cut fast on, see if we get anything different. You guys hear this machine? I mean, you're gonna play pin the tail on the donkey. Look at the screen. I mean, can you guys see that? Maybe I need to. Let me just hold this in this hand. Let me take this right here. Just look at this, man. Look at that coin. Let's go out to 7 inches. That is 7 inches from T. That's 17. That's 7 inches away. Look at that. Let's take it out 8 inches. This shows just how sorry this machine is. Now, look, wait a minute. In 2025, I'm not saying that this wasn't top tech in 2012. Okay, I'm not saying that. Look at that. All right, you guys see that? I mean, do you see that? Touching it. Look at that nail. Let's take it out to 19 inches. Let's run the sensitivity up. 2 points, 22. Keep it nice and stable. All right, let's look at the Manticore. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I mean, look at that. You know, and you guys over there in the UK and you guys running around here with E-Tracs and stuff like that, hunting parks. Dude, if there is any iron present, there's no telling what you're leaving behind. You know, weird guy in the park keeps coming over talking about how his almighty E-Trac. Dude, if you can't see the problem with this FBS and FPS2 on this type of test, son, get your head out of the sand, dude, and quit living in la-la land. Oh, I know. Yeah, all detectors are fine, freestanding silver, and the E-Trac has a good tone on. But if there's any iron, what are you metal detecting for? To find stuff, right? Why would you be using a detector that's got one arm handcuffed behind your back, dude? And no, you can't judge a metal detector performance on fines. You can go to a virgin site with a Ace 250 and find a handful of silver coins. Okay, with that being said, 21, let's go up here, and I want you to notice something. I'm in all-terrain low conductors, and we need to talk about that just for a minute. CTX doesn't offer this, and this is what I was telling the gentleman from the UK yesterday, or over from across the pond, was that frequency matters. On this machine, I just set this machine up to hunt artifacts and low conductors, and you can hunt coins in it. Put your favorite program, high conductor, up beside it, and you know, if you want to cross-check, you can utilize this detector in ways that the CTX and the E-Trac, it's not possible. Right now, we're set up in a way, if I was out in the field with iron and I was hunting hammered coins, cut coins, relic site, that's how I would run this machine. But we're going to check it in high and low. And I'm going to show you how low is the best unmasking on this machine because of the frequency set that Minelab has it running. So check this out, guys. You can't do this with an E-Trac. You can't do this with a CTX. But I want you to just watch. You know, I keep putting shocking results in the title. Well, just watch. Let's see what it does out here. Okay, not a problem. But let's just go back and put the coin right back up against the nail right there. What happens? Will it hit it? Just for fun, we'll slide it out 2 or 3 inches, you know, just see what happens. Okay, but let me demo something for you. So you guys that don't understand frequency, let me just show you something. So if you're out hunting a park, you can set this Manticore up in a setting high conductors, which is more similar to the E-Trac and the CTX. And it will, in my opinion, give you a better idea if you're hunting like hammer coins and silver coins. They kind of come in low and all over the place. But if you're hunting like traditional, and you can hear it, hear the frequency change, and then you see the EMI pick up on it out here. But it's running a lower weighted frequency. So in America, if you're hunting a trash loaded park, you could put all terrain high conductor in there and hunt it, get around some of the modern trash. But if it's got iron, this is what I would do. I would put the machine and set it up in low conductor, and you get a tone like this. You cross check it, you put your favorites button right there, and it switches exactly right to high conductor. And then you could cross-check it. And, you know, if it's not super masked, it may change the ID, or you may, but you have an option here. You could change the ID if it was laying close to foil. The high conductor would give you a better ID on it. Hence, the CTX can't do that. And number two, if it's super, super masked, you're getting a tone where that one won't even give a tone on. So there's just all kinds of options that you could do here. I was talking with Sharpshooter about this, and he was talking about, you know, strategies that he would use for coin hunting. But notice high conductor. And see, that's a frequency-driven thing right there. Let's go up about 12 and a half. Let's go out to where we were, 17. What were we, 17? Performs on that coin, performs in that frequency set a lot like the CTX does. But see, that's the difference. You have options here. Again, you could hit targets that the CTX has no chance of seeing with the frequency set of low conductor. We're back in low conductors again. Will it hit it that way? I don't know. Look at the paint. Strange paint on that one, right? But at least you got a tone to investigate, you know? So there you go. Stay tuned.